Hi, everyone. My name is Anna. Welcome to today's message. Today's message is planting love. A new command I give you love one another as I have loved you, so you must love one another. From John 13:34. We humans often judge people by what we see with our human eyes, and what we feel in our human hearts. What we don't see is the journey that soul has gone through. We don't understand God's commands, and people think that love is an option. My friends, it's not. It is a direct command from God. It is our judgment that stops it. You see, Jesus set the example by loving us without condition. He gave us a written command to do the same. And our love, well, it needs to mirror this. Now, I've often said that I wish that we could see souls instead of people because the world would be a much different place. Now, yesterday you heard a true story from my life written kind of in a parable. A bit of how Jesus might have written a story for you back in his day. It was a true story given in a true context of Christ and how we humans fit into the world created by God alone. Proof of the meaning of every tiny little thing, including the obvious things that you probably do not see. Now, the meaning of the sun and the moon, which is obvious every day, staring you right in the face, yet somehow we still failed to correctly see it. You see, we become humanly blind, and this is what love is in the human world. It stares us down every single day, and we fail to see the peace and the revolution that love brings. We do not see the resolution because we cause harm by not fulfilling the commands of Christ. And in every interaction we have, it is vital and commanded for us to act in love. This verse is our command to do it. So why don't we? That is the question of the century now, isn't it? Well, what if I put it like this? What if I said the basic earthly thing that brings us to see love is actually that we miss it? It is in the absence of love itself. Would that make sense to you? You see, the absence of love causes a severe sense of loss, and it disconnects us from the very things that bring love into our lives. In fact, the only true thing that we mostly can all agree on is that love is present even when we can't agree on anything else. Love is the elemental force of nature, the electromagnetism, which I've spoken about before. And it is what literally drives the universe. It is what compels our human hearts. It's what controls our human hearts inside our body. It's half of our soul. And it is the cosmic lens that brings us to unity when we obey the harmonious laws of nature that God set before us. There is nothing that God has created that is random. Our natural heart is infinitely greater than what we are. It has an electric resonance that is capable of bringing music daily if you just listen for it. And I've spoken about that as well many times. It's the heart that gives us human life as it pulses through our body. And the trick is being able to cultivate love and not kill it within our heart. So here is a real story of the heart and not just in words. I want to tell you a story using a very annoying plant in my garden. It is called snow on the mountain. And for those who are technical, it's called Euphorbia marginata. It looks beautiful. It's green and white, and it shows itself off. It loves well-drained soil, and it really loves the shade, the darkness. But the truth is that it's really annoying. It's aggressive. It grows no matter what I've done to try to kill it. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh my God, what a beautiful thing that is. Where did it come from? And I spent hours thinking, oh, I'm so lucky to have that growing in my garden. But since then, well, I've had a change of heart. I've spent hours removing it, digging it up, covering up with any kind of landscape fabric I can find. I've used plant killer. I've pulled it up by the roots. And no matter what I do, it reestablishes itself just feet away from where I removed it. It always finds a way. Now, it overran a good part of my garden, and I had no idea even how it got there. And I live in Minnesota, and for sure you would think that in the winter, minus 30 degrees in the winter could kill it. But nope, it lives through that too. And though this plant is incredibly troublesome to me, in a way it reminds me of love. As silly as it seems, honestly, because I have heard that love always finds a way. I've learned it through trial and tribulation. And even sometimes if you knowingly or unknowingly kill it, it still grows. Now, love like this plant requires certain conditions. And if not met, it finds its way by some other channel to a place where it's more secure. You can block it, and the growth of your love in your life will find another way. And love, it's not harmed by the way we kill it. But my friends, we are harmed by the way that we kill it. We suffer from the absence of what's needed for love to survive. Because the love that we do not choose, it still carries a root to another place where it's going to thrive, however fleeting, until we try to kill it again and the weather clears up. You see, we'll have love close in our heart and we will kill it, and it will, no matter what, find its way. Because God created our hearts to be tender, to connect, and to be able and to be truthful. And love finds its way because the heart itself does not hide, but it tunnels in every direction until it finds light and good soil and enough shade and sufficient water. And it attracts what it feels. And if your heart feels victimized or is filled with blame, then that is what returns to you. And if your heart feels attraction, well, then you're attractive. And if your heart can't hold love, well, your heart still tries to look for it, but only at the capacity of which you can manage it. It won't hold what is transactional or non-reciprocated. So it changes and adapts and finds a channel to a better place. It's not expectant, but always searching for a nicely fitted future or a better garden. And we sometimes have to remove love when it doesn't feel right and find a better place for it to thrive. Now let's think of this in the form of a relationship. Now, love is always in the present tense of the state of your heart. So look at it practically. A relationship can't survive without a plan, and it can't survive unless you water it. No water and poor soil conditions will stunt the growth. And the plant needs vitamins. In practical forms, love is the food that powers the heart. And if you have little or no love in your heart stops growing. Without food and water, you might be doomed. And once the rain arrives, just in time with God's help, you're back on your way to growth. But now you're a little behind, or maybe even a little hungry and having to find a better way. You see, it's not complex. It just requires good logistics. And you'll eventually survive, but you will have to find a better place to grow. And so it is with love. Love is a plant that will find its way even if you are a poor gardener. Love is food that keeps you alive. It doesn't matter if you need it. It will only operate based on how well you feed it. It requires both food and water. Love won't survive where it can't find what it needs. It will choose freedom. However, it needs to find it. It refuses destruction. It transcends the natural ability to choose what is best. It transcends fear because it can't be contained. It accepts where it doesn't grow, but chooses a better place to lay the roots. And as it travels to the best place to live, even when it's been cut off and left to die, it still finds a way. It lives out its elemental grandeur by a different way of living, reaching outward and stretching itself through the dark ground to find the sun in the best place to reside. It grows through whatever elements bring it to. It pops back up when the spring begins. So the moral of today's story is this. I learned to understand why the snow on the mountain loved its place and that I'll never be able to kill it. I removed the other plants I loved. I gave them a more beautiful home and allowed them to grow where they love to be. It really is a showstopper as you come up my driveway. And the other plants, well, they're happy now too. You see, every single one has room to grow, each beautiful in their own light and in their right and in their correct place. Not where they began, but in a better and more suitable place to live. And my friends, this has nothing to do with plants. Read between the lines. This is a parable of real life when you are a gardener. It's about growing love and not plants. See, the real story, it's not in the words, but in the heart that wrote them. Not unlike Jesus's parables, love as he said it is a command. And it will find a way once you choose to allow it to find its best place to root itself. My friends, in a world where you can be anything, choose to be love. Love is the answer. If this resonated with you, please like and share my post. And thank you for your donations to my divine mission and for helping me to keep my messages alive. I will see you tomorrow.